Alright, guys, so today I have two discussion points. By the way, it's beautiful here in Iceland, so I'm trying to enjoy being outside. But yeah, guys, so our two main targets left for the rest of the window are Alexander Isak, obviously, and Marc Guehi. Star striker, star center back. My first question: do you think we're going to get both over the line, one or neither? And then, something I've seen being asked quite a lot is if you had to choose one, which would you rather we get over the line, Alexander Isak or Marc Guehi? And this might sound kind of crazy because I've actually seen most people saying we should just get Marc Guehi over the line because a defender's more important. Look at the way we don't look that solid defensively, this and that. I actually disagree. And I'm going to go with the obvious yet not obvious answer, which, you know, apparently the way we recruit is market opportunities. I truly do believe Alexander Isak is that special of a striker. And listen, I'm the biggest Ugo Ekitike fan. Like already, he's up there with my favorite players with the way he glides on that pitch and how impressive he's been since he arrived. But I don't think it's one or the other. I definitely think there's a world where Slot can find a way to play with two strikers or play with Ekitike on the left. Again, we play so many games that you want to have top quality in the different positions. And I think finding an elite, outstanding striker is more difficult and rare in the market than an elite defender. And I don't know if you can call Guehi that. Let me know what you think. But obviously, I would love both. And I do think we need a defender, arguably more than an attacker. However, I do think the club also sees Alexander Isak as a long-term Salah replacement. Obviously, they don't play the same positions, but I mean somebody who we can count on to deliver goals season after season, because I don't think we're necessarily going to find a right winger who can score 20 goals a season. But it's not just about position, it's about finding attackers who can consistently deliver for you. And I think we see Alexander Isak as that star player already, but that can go to another level at Liverpool Football Club because we can create more opportunities in Newcastle. He's going to play around better players, and we believe we can take him to that next level. And Slot had a really great record of keeping players fit last season, and I believe one of our main priorities is how can we keep Alexander Isak fit, and I believe the club will be able to do that. We're going to have, again, that's also why it's great to have Alexander Isak and Ugo Ekitike, because we're going to be able to rest him for certain games, and we need to. You can't just have the same starting 11 for 60 games in a season, given how many games now are being played, So let me know what you think. If you're confident about both, I'm kind of, as each day goes on, obviously there's not much time left now in the transfer window. I am getting a little bit more worried. With Alexander Isak, however, the way I truly see it is that Newcastle won't sell to us anyways before we face them next Monday in exactly a week's time. So I don't think it's in their best interest to sell him till the final day of the window, whether they get a replacement or not, and that makes sense because they obviously don't want to sell their star and then for him to be ready to face them, in the second match day. It just wouldn't make sense for them, But like I said, I am still confident that's going to get done. The problem is it seems like Newcastle can't sign any strikers. They can't. So I'm just hoping, can they somehow play Jacob Ramsey? Can they just play with striker? I know it's not his position, but bro, they can't get a striker over the line. They cannot get a striker over the line. So if only they could, then this would move faster. But like I said, I don't think Isak gets done till at least after the game next Monday, right? The one at St. James Park. It's just not in their best interest, and we're desperate for the player. And then Marc Guehi, it looks like Crystal Palace are driving a hard bargain, and they're trying to get as much as money as possible. And honestly, kind of understandably so, because even though he has only 1 year left, he is so crucial to them. And let's say, for example, they had sold him 2 weeks ago. Who knows? Maybe they would have lost the Community Shield final. Maybe they wouldn't have kept a clean sheet in the first game of the season against Chelsea. These are the little margins that end up being absolutely critical, and so I can understand Crystal Palace driving a hard bargain too, because it looks like they will lose him and Eze this window. And imagine losing two star players like that. How can the squad kind of regroup? How can the squad bounce back from that? It's almost impossible to replace characters like that in the market, It looks like the one they're going for is Diomande to try to replace Guehi, which looks like a fantastic option. He's the Sporting Lisbon centre back. He's young, bags of potential. That would make a lot of sense, but I don't know what they'll do on the Eze front, who looks like he's Spurs bound now. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you think I'm crazy for wanting Isak over Guehi, because like I said, I've seen quite a few people online saying we need a centre back more than we need a striker. But for me, again, you have to think about market opportunity. What will happen with Isak next summer? How many other top clubs might want him, you know? And the fact that right now all he wants is us and that he believes in this project, we got to take advantage of that because he could be that striker to just make us that team that's impossible to keep a clean sheet against, you know? And defenders, we brought in Giovanni Leoni. Joe Gomez is back fit, and I know, you know, there's some stress around those positions, but I truly believe that we're going to sort ourselves out defensively. And then if we have that front three of Mohamed Salah, Alexander Isak, Ekitike, and let's say somehow we play with two strikers and Cody Gakpo on the left, I don't know how that would work. But if we have that, I just don't see how teams can stop us from scoring 3 goals every game. You know what I mean? I just don't see it. But yeah, either way, it looks like there's still a lot to come for the rest of this window because it seems like Costas leaving is imminent. Ben Doak passed the first part of his medical. That's major money that keeps on coming in. Harvey Elliott, it looks like just is on his way out. So surely we make at least 2 more signings, I think. My dream end of the window, and this really would be like, again, the way our window has happened so far, it's been like a career mode. This would be like a career mode ending to the window. But bro, if we end it with keeping Chiesa and getting Alexander Isak, Fofana from Lyon, and Marc Guehi, my goodness, that would be like 1,000 out of 10 window. Genuinely, it would be like 1,000 out of 10 window. So I'm praying that we get those over the line and that we begin the season with defensive reinforcement and then the best attack in world football. Let's be honest, that would be the best attack in world football. But anyways, guys, I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful start to your week. Bringing the best vibes here from Iceland. I'm about to go on a walk and I'm trying to go to the pool because, as you can see, it is just, look, blue sky, absolute blue sky. And I feel like I'm in paradise because it's so rare here that when you get it, you have to take advantage. You have to be outside and soak in every second you get of the sun, truly. That's what's special about living here. Because nice weather is rare, I think when it comes, it almost feels like it's an absolute miracle, that it's like paradise, you know? So, yeah, guys, have a beautiful rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, guys.